Good morning, everybody. I'd like to start off by just asking everyone, like, how many of you have a class that you just dread going to every day? It's so boring. The lectures they never end. They just keep going forever and ever. Yeah, right. A lot of people have this. Which brings me to my quote saying, "A lecture is an occasion when you numb one end to benefit another." So I think this quote to me means you sacrifice your happiness, your enjoyment of a class just so you could learn something. But I think it extends further to that, to just you sacrifice anything for some other greater benefit. Like 3 perfect examples to this are college life. We're all in college, we all sacrifice things to better educate ourselves. So in this class, we're all trying to learn how to speak in public, right? Like to not be shy up here, like somebody might come up here and be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, like they're scared. We're trying to learn to make it better. You're sacrificing your own like anxiety, your fears, you're trying to get that all out of the way so you can speak in public. And then a second point would be after college, when you get that degree that you worked so hard to get, a job. You're in a job, or hopefully a career that you'll stick to and love forever. You'll have to sacrifice your time, your effort, your dedication. Maybe even you'll have to lose some family time just to finish the major project that your a-hole boss is pushing down on you to finish by next week all by yourself. Everyone else ditched you for your work. They all quit because the boss is a total douche or a total jerk. But you do it because you want that money. You want that satisfaction of completing that job or task. And then you get that money and you could do what you want with it. So you're getting a great benefit from it, even though you're sacrificing all this time and effort into that job. And then one final thing, which hopefully everyone can face, I guess, would be marriage or a partnership. That's different. Or marriage, because you want somebody to love you. I guess it's human nature. You want to belong to something, a group or just a partnership. So your wife or husband, they're gonna shape and mold you into something different, hopefully better. But like if you're a lazy slack off, you've been together for a few years, he or she will tell you, you need to get your ass off that couch and get a job because I ain't paying all your bills my entire life. So you're gonna have to start pulling your weight around that house or apartment or wherever you live. And then you also you sacrifice your time to be with them. Like you could spend all that time being an individual, just yourself, at home, doing whatever you want, hanging out with your friends. But no, when you have somebody, you have to be with them, or else you're going to lose them. They're just going to leave you because you're putting them off to hang out with your deadbeat friend who's living on the couch or something. Deadbeat friends everywhere. And then finally, it's just, ultimately, you're giving up being an individual to be with somebody that you know will stay with you in any situation. Like, you know when you're at your lowest, they will be there to pick you, to raise you back up, to be better. And you want that. You don't want them, or you don't want to just be all on your own in the world, because it's a scary world. Like, you cannot get through life without having somebody there to support you financially and emotionally. So in the end, all these sacrifices we make are done so that we can better improve our own lives and guess that's it.
Well, sorry, we all got Spencer Burning. We can get flawless speeches in 30 seconds. We don't play bipolar. We have perfect hair, perfect height.
Yes, too much on the sides. My high school was called Pinky State because my hair had a penis.
A Jen? All right, you have an okay setup of the topic at the beginning. Your goals clearly stated. It sounds like you're going to give us a preview and then you don't, but you do have an organizational structure that you're talking about. So even though you've got that, you just didn't provide that preview. In the content issues, I thought you did okay at the beginning. You could probably do a little bit more with your first example. I did like the fact that when you got to that third example, that's where you spent most of your time and energy, and that's pretty important. You're dealing with hypotheticals on that point, and it would be nice if you had some real illustrations from something that you've seen, or maybe even a relationship that you're in, although you probably aren't married and don't have a long-term commitment at this point in your life. So that's okay. How old are you?
18.
18? Okay, you're entitled. 4 more years. Then get married and have a life. All right. You've got lots of energy in your voice and good inflection when you're speaking, so I think you do a good job there. Sometimes I think you get going and you sometimes get a little bit carried away. I didn't mention it earlier. Somebody else stepped in the language pool and pulled their foot out and it was covered and stuff. You weren't quite that bad, but you did. Sometimes it just felt like you get a little loosey-goosey going, and the next thing you know, you're just mouthing off to people, and you got to be a bit careful about that. I thought you had, some good indicators while you're speaking. You look very animated. I mentioned this to somebody before. I don't know if you were here and heard that, or if it was the last speaker. I can't really remember. You have pretty good eye contact with this part of the room. Pay attention to everybody else, too. Spread the love. All right. And I think at the end that you just your timing was off on your exit. You had a good idea, but you hesitated to get there, and it felt awkward. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you stuff you know.